my funny bone when I read that pro disc golfer disqualified for testing negative for cannabis.
That's kind of where we're headed these days.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, no joke. Those guys, they wake up, they burn it, and then they go play all day. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Speaking of all day, this is one of the things that I want to talk about today, especially being our first podcast, because you're an extremely busy guy. I'm a fairly busy guy. And I wanted to talk about just a daily schedule. Like what because I have being a business owner, I've always done this my whole life. I never really worked for anybody. So I've always been entrepreneurial in that sense. So I've always had just my schedule be whatever I made it, and it's always been pretty significant. But as a doctor, what does your day look like Monday through Friday, and then you don't have to go into it about the weekends with your family, but what does that feel like? What does it look like? Was it what you thought it was going to be, like when you were in medical school, or when you thought about being a doctor? Was all I just want to listen to what you thought it would be like and what it actually is.
You never really are able to experience what it's going to be like until you start doing it. We go through all this rigorous training, and then you get an idea, right? You do so much training, you go to clinic, you go to the hospital, but then when you're actually in it and you're actually working. By the way, Mike, you know how long it takes before I'm actually working?
No.
11 years after college.
What is your normal Monday, and is every day the same?
No.
So
every day has a set sort of organized schedule to it. And so for me in particular, Monday I'll do procedures in the morning in the medical center, and then I have clinic in the afternoon.
So be specific. What time do you wake up?
I have to be at work 7:30 most days, 7:30 a.m. So I'm waking up 6-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And when's your last? Is the last thing you do see a patient? Is the last thing you do?
It depends what day it is. Like today, it was see a patient.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So every day is different. So like Monday, I told you, Tuesday's all day procedures. Wednesday's all day clinic. Thursday is veins in the morning, procedures in the afternoon, and then Friday's procedures in the morning, clinic in the afternoon. So every day has its structure to it.
So 7:30, you're at the office. Is there time for lunch? Is it like a quick protein bar, or is it like a sit down for an hour and check emails?
Every day is different.
Just depends.
Oh, you want to talk about emails? I am the worst at emails.
Really?
You know what's so funny? The hospital made me an email account, and I told them, I said, "What the hell are y'all doing? Who the hell told you could make me an email account? I didn't agree to this. I don't even check my own email. You're going to make me another email?" I literally have an email address that I never asked for that's flooded, and I refuse to check it. I refuse. I don't care. I refuse to check it.
So, all right. So lunch is just kind of whatever it is?
Yeah, you just make it work. You make it work. But a lot of times we'll have to work through lunch. It's a grind, Mike. It's a grind.
When is a normal day in for you?
I'm usually done 5:30-ish, 5-ish some days earlier, some days later. I mean, I remember this week, actually, I was in the hospital till like 8 p.m. And that was like, when I first started, that was normal for me, by the way.
8 p.m.
Yeah, my schedule's gotten better as I'm old now, kind of.
Well, you're older than me.
Thanks for the reminder. 1 year, though.
It doesn't matter.
It's 1 year?
1 year is a
year,
You're
going to get me on that?
Yeah.
You can always remind me?
Yes, 100%.
It's okay.
Until I or you die.
So, I remember I was there and I was like, shit, man, I haven't been this late for a while. But, it gets better. But what's so funny about my line of work? I'm an interventional cardiologist for the listeners out there. So that means I'm basically a cardiologist, but I also am a plumber. So any sort of blockage you have in the heart or the legs, or you need a valve replaced or veins treated, I take care of all that. What's interesting is that, as I've, done this more and more and more, the schedule's become more set. But it's funny because I think about this often. People say like, oh, how's your day? Or like, how was your week? Or how's just, and it's always like, oh, same shit, different day. When in reality, it's not. It's actually every day you go in and you don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, as many people as I poke, as many procedures I do, I have to see all these people every day. It's just, it's a lot of interaction. And it's a lot of newness.
Yeah.
I know that's not a word, but new sort of things to uncover.
Yeah.
So it's really not the same shit, even though it feels like that. Yeah.
You know, that's a lot like being an entrepreneur. Like for me, I try to make my day as structured as possible, you know, because I know, and what's funny is I try to make my day outside of the office as structured as possible, because when I'm at the office, it's chaos.
Is it?
It's so being the boss is all you're doing all day is you're just putting out fires that are walking in, right? That's all I'm doing all day long. Is somebody will come in and like, hey, I've got this issue, and I'm like, okay, and then it's the next issue. I don't ever get any of the good stuff, right? And when everything goes right, no one comes in my office and be like, hey, just by the way, everything went perfect today. I get none of that. So I try to wake up early, get my workout in, my cardio in, get to the office. Once I get to the office, chaos all day.
Fireman.
Right? Yeah, just fireman.
I use that a lot too.
I say I piss on what's on fire. I don't even have water, dude. It's just me. So that's the only one I got. So, but yeah, that's what's neat is how different our jobs are, but how similar, you know, our
we have a lot of responsibility.
A lot of responsibility.
That's what sort of makes us the same.
It's just so much responsibility. What the next thing that I want to jump in, and I know we're going to like bounce around here a little bit, but speaking of like day in the life of like what I do and you do, could you even imagine like having Elon Musk's schedule?
I don't think he gives a shit lately. Lately, the dude's just been like, because even someone said that the other day. They were like, the guy's kind of just, he's so rich. And he's so...
Do you think he cares?
He doesn't.
I don't think he cares
He's
at
the
all.
definition of woke, but the good woke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know,
he's like
I know
a
exactly what
real,
you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
unplugged from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Completely unplugged. He's just going around and doing what he wants. I love the guy. I think he's great.
I do too.
But I will say this, though. Did you watch his Rogan interviews?
I've watched, I think all of them.
They're kind of painful.
So one thing about Elon, and if you notice, the only time that he has an interview for more than 10 minutes is with Rogan.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he doesn't have maybe the right social...
He's off. He's off.
He's just off.
He's a little off. I mean, I love the guy.
I do too.
But I and I tell everyone this because I do love him and I love what he stands for. And I love, like you said, like his little clips, you know, what he has to say. Dude, I love it. But listening to him talk for like a long period of time, I was like, oh God, like what? You know, he's hard to follow. He mumbles a lot.
Well, he's so hard to follow. And I think a lot of that is just because he's so damn smart.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know how he got started?
So I don't know his like inception, but I know that he was part of the PayPal team that created
before.
I don't know a lot about that.
My understanding is all he did was take a phone book and put it on the internet, and that's it. It's so simple. See, what people don't realize is you and I, and a lot of people in our age, lived through this sort of birth of the internet. When we were kids, no one knew what the internet was. It came out. We're like, what is this crap? Like, what are y'all talking? There's a computer involved. You know, computers were just glorified typewriters when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. If you had a computer, it was just used to type stuff up. Maybe you had a floppy disk. You put Oregon Trail in there, but that's it.
Dude, do you remember the computer lab? Do you remember? That was a big deal.
Yeah.
So we went to this little school on Antoine. That's how me and KK met. Was we went to this tiny. It was
a great school.
It was awesome.
We had a beautiful.
But what I'm saying is this: we went to this private school, which was it was the cheapest private school in Houston at the time because that's all my parents could afford.
Mine too. Mine too.
But I remember, and I don't remember exactly what grade I was in, but I was old enough to remember. So it had to be 10, 11, 12-ish, something like that, when they put a computer room in the school. And everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
And I remember playing Oregon Trail for hours.
I was the fastest typer in the class.
Oh, really?
I took a lot of pride in it. And to this day, I'm a very fast typer.
Are you really?
Oh,
I was horrible.
Remember QWERTY? QWERTY was the name of the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
QWERTY?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Who was do you remember who the teacher was in that class? I don't remember either.
I just remember Mr. Caraway, but a few other people, but no, I don't remember.
But the internet has completely changed. And fast forward from that inception to like today, to where if we didn't have the internet today, I don't think we would have. I think we would be in a much, much worse situation with like propaganda and things like that. Yeah. And I don't want to get political with this at all, but I think that the internet, with all of its badness, right? Because I think there's a lot of stuff that's really bad. It has just as much good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like these independent journalists now that are coming out, and speaking of Elon, Scott, the thing that Twitter or Elon did the other day, what was it called that he came on and it was an old something?
So the other night he did a live using an old Periscope code from 2015 while they were testing the live. It was using horrible resolution. It was real tough to see. And my thought is that they are starting to develop creator tools. And that's one that they want to modify and modernize so that people can use it and be independent journalists.
So basically like go live on there?
Exactly.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
He's going to make Twitter great. Okay.
Do you think Twitter will be the United States version of like what WeChat is in? Is it WeChat?
Yes.
In China?
WeChat, in China, where so I don't know. Have you ever been to China?
No, I don't want to go.
Yeah. So unfortunately for my job, I have to go.
No.
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, not for the last 3 years, obviously, but but before that, yes, yeah.
I'd be scared to go.
I love it.
I mean, I want to go. I'm not scared.
I don't
but
know about now. Like
it's hot.
I was supposed to go this March, right? I was supposed to go this March. There's a huge office furniture convention show. The largest in the world is there, and that's where I go and find products that we sell. That's
no, for sure. No, it's awesome for you. But
so, what was I saying? China.
Yeah,
China. So we chat over there, and I had no idea before I went. So I go to China. I get there. This was my second time I was there. The first time I went with someone as a translator and all this kind of stuff. And then I figured out, well, you don't need that at all. Everyone speaks English.
Do they really?
Everyone speaks English.
Wow.
So the second time I went to buy something, and I just pulled out my credit card, and they were like, we don't accept credit cards. We only take WeChat. You can't pay for anything without WeChat.
WeChat's like a social media.
It's a social media. It's your bank. It's everything. It's your social credit score.
I see, but I don't like that. I don't like that.
But it's run by the government.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't like that.
Twitter won't be.
You realize they're doing everything they can to get rid of cash.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They want to be able to track every transition you make, know exactly what you're buying, what you're thinking.
I think if Elon can do it the right way, that Twitter could become that very, and I think Twitter could be a mixture of all of those kind of social platforms in one. And if there's a guy to do it,
no, I have faith in Elon. For me personally, I hate Twitter, or I hated Twitter the most. Like out of all the platforms that we use, and there's really to me only the big three: Facebook, Insta, and Twitter. Twitter is my least favorite. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was fun. It wasn't a way to keep up with like friends. It was more a way to keep up with celebrities, and
I didn't either. But I am starting to try to get into it more.
Yeah, I like it more since Elon took over.
Yeah.
I never used to check it. Now I'm actually checking it, and seeing him troll everybody is hilarious. It can't be him doing it though, Mike.
It's him.
It cannot be.
I'm telling you.
Is he that free?
I think
he's just like sitting around.
I think he goes to the bathroom a lot.
You really think that's him?
I don't think he lies about it.
He's got to have a team of people, and maybe they just run it by him. They're like, hey, let's troll this person.
If you've seen him on some of these interviews, he's pretty sharp. Like, he's pretty quick.
Oh, no, he's
and
great.
witty. What I mean by quick is like witty. He's very witty.
I mean, he's the one restoring, I think, freedom of speech to the internet. He bought Twitter not because financially he thought he was going to make money. He bought it because he was trying to protect it. He was so disturbed.
I know that's what he said, but I think it's true.
I believe it.
I think it's true too.
Yeah, I believe it. I think he was so disturbed with what's happening.
Do you think the government's going to try to do something like what they've done with like Disney and trying to do all that? And do you know what I'm saying? Like how Disney had their thing in Florida, and then the government has come in and said whatever. Do you think the government's going to try to, now that Twitter is no longer part of their woke mob?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to try to shut them down?
Well, I think it's super ironic how before, when big tech was married to essentially one political party, it wasn't a big deal. But the second Elon takes over, now you got people on the other side screaming, hooting, and hollering, when in reality, he's, to me, the biggest fighter for free speech we have. I think it's great.
And I think I also think that if an entity like Twitter, or I know I mentioned Disney, or even like Disney, when they start to get political and start to make political activism and stuff like that, I think the government should step in and say something about that. I think there should be a clear separation between corporation and government entity. I don't think they should intermingle at all.
No. Like we know for a fact now, because I did a lot. I go down these rabbit holes. We talked about this. And I get a lot of my information from podcasts. I listen to Rogan. I listen to PBD. And I get a lot of very, very good information from there. And I love hearing about these things. And so we know for a fact that the White House was interfering and basically coercing and telling people to just cover up certain stories. And it's just like, it's insane to me. It's like you shouldn't obviously be doing that. That is the definition of government overreach. That is the definition of government overreach. I agree. You're preventing people from speaking their opinions and speaking the truth. Yeah. God forbid we speak the truth. Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely. But, this whole independent journalism, I love it. I love it. We got the whole Tucker thing leaving. We got all these other people, independent journalists, because they're not restricted. And they actually do a better job. And now that we have all these platforms on social media, they can get their message across.
And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be much, much better if we can get guys like Tucker and other big name guys to go independent and do that. One, they'll make more money.
They're happier.
Two, they'll be happier. They'll get more views than what they're getting now on a Fox or a CNN or any of those channels by being independent. And I think that's where they should go. And I think Twitter's going to do that. I think Twitter's going to give them a platform.
Give them a better platform.
To be able to do all of that. And I think a lot of that live stuff that he's working on right now is a big part of that.
Megyn Kelly seems a lot happier. Yeah. I told you, I think I told you this. She dropped an F-bomb the other day, which I thought was great.
I think it is too.
I saw Megyn Kelly drop an F-bomb.
If that's how you talk, that's how you should be able to talk.
Well, I thought it was cool because it made us realize that these people are human. And I say this all the time about doctors, by the way. We are not robots. We have thoughts. We have feelings. We have, convictions. And so a lot of times with the doctor thing, they like to put you in a box and not, want you to speak your mind. And I always hated that. And so that's why I'm glad that we have this platform, this opportunity to speak. But when I heard her drop the F-bomb, I was happy. Bro. Yeah. I was like, man, this is great. Yeah, you go, Megyn.
If you don't want to listen to it, turn the channel. That's what I don't understand about anything. Just turn the channel. Yeah. That's all you have to do. Yeah. It was just cool. I understand not swearing on terrestrial television and radio, things like that. We got 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, the internet, you do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want. It was cool. And you could tell that she's more free. She's more free. You got these independent journalists. They're not restricted. Tucker obviously is not going to join any other news network. He's not going to One Max. He's not one Newsmax or One
and I also
American
don't
network.
Think he's going to do his own. I don't think he's got his own that he started. What was it called? Daily Caller.
He does have something. Yeah, Daily. Yeah, he does have. Well, I just found out about this recently. I didn't listen to it.
I didn't listen to it either, but he's the one that founded that, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
He's not a part of it anymore because of it. I think only because of his contract with Fox.
Yeah,
though.
I don't know. But it's funny because he's bringing up basically what people consider to be conspiracies. It's funny because now I'm seeing him talk about he's talking about Epstein. He's talking about Building 7 coming down.
All
9/11.
And all of this Fox would not have let him talk about.
And so
but he's able to now.
Right. And so it was cool because he was basically telling people, look, I'm no longer under this sort of restraint from my masters.
I think it's great. Yeah. I think if you have a good following, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Go independent, man. Right. Go independent.
It's better.
Get out there. Say what you want to say. Do it how you want to do it. It's cheap. It's so cheap.
And that's where people are moving.
I set this entire... this is nice, right? This is a nice,
gorgeous.
Freaking podcast studio. It's awesome. This thing cost me less than $10,000.
That's awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can put this stuff out for nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do it
Absolutely.
anymore.
Absolutely.
So I am excited about what's in the future. I'm excited about Twitter. I'm excited about all that stuff.
No, yeah. And you see what's happening. Okay, take you and I, for example. Do you watch the news?
Never.
I don't watch the news.
Never.
Where do we get our news from?
Instagram, Facebook,
Okay,
TikTok.
that's where most people are getting their information, is through their handheld device. They're getting their news, they're getting their entertainment, they're getting everything from there. So everything is shifted away from this sort of media propaganda machine, and it allows people to be more authentic and to be better at what they do.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all wanted to talk about Star Wars.
Well, it is May the 4th.
I know.
May the 4th be with you.
May
I don't know.
May the 4th be
I
with
don't
you. I don't know
know
when this is going to air. It's probably going to air on like the 7th or 8th or 9th, something like that.
Today is May the
Probably,
4th,
Scott?
everybody.
Probably sometime next week.
Yeah, sometime next week. So, hey, right now it's May the 4th, which means tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, is it? I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
so if you're going to see this a few days late, but happy May the 4th be with you, and happy Cinco de Mayo.
Are you a big Star Wars guy?
I'm not, and that's why when y'all brought this up, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So this might be just, I might need to switch spots with Scott real quick.
Well, I know Scott's a big comic guy. I have a bunch of Star Wars NFTs that they're not worth shit right now.
Yeah, so May the 4th be with you. So are you a big Star Wars guy?
No, I've never
at
even. I watched Mandalorian. That's it.
Okay, so you've watched one more than I have.
Yeah, and Mandalorian was great.
You're a big Star Wars guy.
I like Star Wars. Yes.
So what is your favorite Star Wars?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the, and
Is
which one
yeah.
falls in the, where does that fall in the series?
So that is number 6.
How many are there, Scott?
But that's
Oh, God.
but number
At
6.
this point-
Those are all prequels, right?
They were the first ones that came out. You had Star Wars, Empire, and then Return.
Okay.
And those were the first 3. And that's what I grew up on.
This can be a real short segment since me and KK don't know what
Well,
to
no.
talk
Well, here's the thing. I think it got too complicated. Okay, this is what I do, guys. Okay, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. The reason I'm bringing these up, there's like 7, 8 seasons. So
minimum.
once I get too behind, I'm not catching up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite,
No.
bro.
No,
So
not catching
I
up.
didn't watch Sopranos. I just finished Sopranos like a month ago. I have never watched Breaking
Scott,
Bad.
when did Sopranos end? It's at least 10 years.
At least.
So-
At least.
So
At least.
was he shot in the end?
Yeah. I watched the last episode. Yeah, at that little diner thing. I mean, he
know.
was.
They never show it.
Well, he
Never
was
show it.
killed. He was killed.
I don't know.
They
Yeah,
never
yeah,
show it.
yeah.
You never
That's
know.
the thing.
Well, he died in real life too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gone.
He did die in real life.
He was a great actor.
Yeah. I've never seen Breaking Bad. Never.
Yeah.
People tell me that my best days are ahead of me because I haven't seen Breaking Bad.
I
Have you watched it?
I refuse to watch it.
I couldn't. I
don't. If I'm that behind, and there's like,
Really?
I don't have enough time.
Dude, I just finished Peaky Blinders.
I heard Peaky Blinders is great. I'm not watching it.
You know why I do that? Because I like to binge.
Can't.
So I was talking about my routine. My routine in the morning, I wake up early, cold plunge, 3-minute cold
Oh,
plunge.
nice. You have one at your
At the house, yeah.
Outside?
Yeah, outside.
How does that work? How does it stay cold?
Well, the one that I have is the po' boy one, so I put ice in
Po'
it.
boy? The sandwich?
Poor boy.
Poor boy. Poor boy, what?
I have to put ice in it every day. But what I do,
So you just have a bucket.
so I have a big,
A
I have a
big
freezer.
basin.
I have a freezer outside.
Is it really a freezer?
Uh-huh.
No.
And so I put I put like Ziploc bags of ice in it. So I have
Okay,
like,
no. But is it really a freezer or it's
It's a real freezer outside.
you're using a freezer as the cold plunge?
No. So
It's a special cold plunge.
no, this cold plunge is like just a bucket, but it's made for a.
It's
cold
made
plunge.
for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I thought for a second you were literally
No, no, no,
utilizing
no,
an
no,
old
no,
freezer,
no.
flipping it over.
But I have like a small refrigerator outside under my covered patio that has all of our like pool drinks and stuff like that in it. Well, it has a small freezer up top. So what I do is I bought these bags of water that are ice bags, you know, and I just put them in the freezer after I'm done with the ice bath, and then at night. So right before I go to bed at like 11. Right before I go to bed, I put the ice in there.
Oh, okay.
These 3 huge chunks of ice.
Nice and ready.
And it doesn't melt because it's in this bag.
Yeah.
And so then I put the lid on, I go to bed. So I wake up, 6 hours later, whatever, 5:45, and I jump in the
First thing you do, you wake up right away.
I don't even brush my teeth, bro. This is no joke. This is what happens. My legs go over into my slippers, stand up, walk straight outside.
Cold plunge.
Cold plunge.
I like it.
1 minute after I wake up.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean,
Cold plunge.
My friends swear by it. The Lifetime at Green Street in downtown, they have one, and people will not go to Greenway, which is a better gym, to go to Green Street in downtown just because they have a cold plunge.
Yeah. So cold plunge, gym, work.
I like
right?
it.
That's how I do it. What were we talking about? Why were we on that? You got me off the cold plunge.
I don't know how we ended up on cold plunge. We were doing Disney Mandalorian.
I know.
And then we ended up, it's okay, but that's how it works.
right.
That's how it works. That's filterless. This is how filterless works.
Filterless
We have no filter. We have no schedule. We talk about whatever.
No, we talk about whatever we want.
But
speaking of this podcast, so where are we at right now on time?
28.
Oh, man, we still got a lot of time.
Yeah.
We're still doing good.
Yeah.
I would like to remember why I was talking about the cold plunge. But to go back to the cold plunge, big bags of ice in it at night. So by the time I wake up in the morning, the water's 44 degrees. Normally anywhere between 40 and 50 degrees. Rogan does it at 34, bro. I have no idea how you get into 34-degree water. Dude, 44 to me, and it's almost too much.
I like when Rogan shows himself getting in the plunge, and then he got better at it.
I don't understand how you can talk while you're in there.
I've never done it. I mean, one time we were on vacation, and there was a spa, and I don't even know where we were, somewhere in Mexico, and the spa had a cold something. That's the coldest water I've ever done. But it's funny. There's a ton of supposed health benefits from this, like
Huge.
a ton.
Huge.
Like a ton.
I can tell a difference when I don't do it.
Well, I'm sure it wakes you up.
I didn't wake up in time this morning.
Oh.
I didn't do it.
Oh.
And all day.
So you're a gym morning guy.
And afternoon.
Oh, twice a day.
Twice a
I mean,
day.
you do look great.
Yeah,
you look fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I go in the morning. I get 35 minutes of cardio in first thing in the morning.
Nice.
So 5:45, 5:46 cold plunge. I'm at the gym by 7:15 sometimes. Yeah. I do 35 minutes of cardio in the morning, and then whatever I'm gonna lift that afternoon, I'll do a little bit of it just to get them warmed up.
Just to activate that muscle group.
In that morning.
I like this.
Right. Then work all day. I don't eat. So I don't eat until 1 o'clock.
So you are fasting every morning?
Every day till 1 p.m.
Yeah, so you're basically a skip breakfast guy, and your break of your fast is at 1 p.m.
The first thing in the morning is athletic greens. So right after the cold plunge, I go in the kitchen.
Okay, so you're getting something.
Yeah. I just get my vitamins, my multivitamin.
Yeah. No, but there's calories in there.
Yeah, probably
20 calories.
But
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, probably 25 calories.
Dude, are you? Listen, I know that you're a Rogan fan, but honestly, you're starting to scare me a little bit. Cold plunge, athletic greens,
but
podcast.
So
see, like you're.
No, but what's funny is I listen to him, but I listen to all these guys.
I used to do Rogan a lot. But I've really kind of switched over to Patrick Bet-David.
I love PBD.
PBD,
I love PBD.
I don't know.
And I like PBD better because he's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right? So he came from my world. Yeah. He's lived my world, and he's created this new world for himself.
And you can tell he's just living life.
That's all he's doing.
Enjoying life.
Yeah.
Trying to make this world a better place. Like, to me, and Rogan, the same thing. Rogan is more. So the whole reason I think Rogan got so famous is because the man asks good questions. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's very intuitive. Yep. And people like to hear that.
Just enough fame starting out people were okay with going on his show.
I thought he was great on Fear Factor.
Yeah,
I mean, you remember him from Fear Factor?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was a great host.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest,
he's a great comedian.
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic. We saw him several times. He's great.
Funny.
No, very good. Very good. And he was kind of unhinged at the beginning. Even now he's unhinged.
That's his whole thing. He's like a
great.
Richard Pryor kind of, Sam Kinison kind of comic.
Okay, let's talk about comedy here for a second because we want this podcast to be a little funny too.
Yeah.
This whole political correctness, wokeness thing, where everything is offensive. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is kind of hit comedy hard, I would say, because a lot of people are just offended by everything. Every joke has to have some truth to it to be funny.
Yep.
So somebody has to be at the butt of every joke,
Right.
or else it won't be a joke.
I agree.
I mean, you have to talk about something or someone or something or some country or some race or
something bad had to happen for it to be funny.
Exactly.
That's it.
And so people just need to get over this. And it's funny, man, because I go back now. So I'm 40 years old. You're what, 39?
Yes, a year.
You
younger
reminded
than
me. You reminded all of us earlier that I'm older. It's fine. And so I go back and I watch things that I felt were hilarious back in the day. And then I watch them and I'm just like, oh my God, they could never say that now.
Oh,
nobody would ever say this now. And it's funny.
Could you make The Office today?
No, of course not.
Never.
Okay, do you remember that episode of The Office, the one that got all the attention, the race one? Did you ever see that one? I think it was in the first season. So, okay, I've never watched The Office. The Office is another example of like a Peaky Blinders thing where I refuse to watch it because there's so many seasons. But I love, what's his name, Steve Carell. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
And the other guy, what was the, not Dwight, but what's the other, the tall, lanky guy? He wrote the movie, the one where they can't talk or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they all kind of got famous.
John Krasinski.
Yeah. You got it. We didn't have to consult. We didn't have to consult Scott, but we do have a Jamie here.
Bro,
we have a young Jamie
I know,
here.
but
We
you have to
can
look at
consult.
this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Size 8. Look at that.
Yeah.
Huge brain, bro.
Yeah.
Huge brain.
That's right.
Huge brain. I
So-
don't know if that correlates hat size and brain size, but you know what? Maybe just a thick skull.
The Office was one of those shows where I was like, I can't do it because it's so far behind. But I was at work one day, and the manager of our cath lab at the time, she says, "Do you watch The Office?" I said, "No." And she knows that I can be a little. I'm not like your typical doctor. I say more probably than I should. But I mean,
that's why everybody loves you, though.
Well, thank you. But to be honest, it's like it's just part of my personality. I've been like this my whole life. I mean, I'm not going to change who I am because I happen to be a medical professional.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she says, "Have you seen The Office?" I said, "No." She goes, "You have to watch that the episode because they were trying to cancel it." And they tried to cancel it or tried
They
to
tried to cancel The Office. I didn't.
No,
know.
or at
in
least
the
that
show.
one episode.
Oh, really?
So I went specifically
Just to
watch that episode. It was about race. Hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious. And part of me was like, shit, maybe I should just watch The Office now.
Yeah.
I kind of got sucked in. But you watch it, and I was like, oh my God, there's no way. And to think about, this was being aired on, not on HBO or Cinemax. This was being aired on just like normal TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But comedy's back, baby. Yeah, I know you say that the woke they were fighting. Comedy's fighting it back.
Yeah. Well, Rogan's doing a good job.
Rogan is the epicenter of it.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas is now the new
We need to
LA
go.
for comedy.
We need to go.
Dude, I went.
I know.
I went to the Comedy Mothership. It's a Comedy Mothership, yeah. Comedy Mothership.
I'm dying to go.
So I didn't get tickets because we had dinner plans. I didn't know exactly when I was going to be there. I was going for a work thing. And but I went to have drinks at Mitzi's bar, which is the bar that's connected to the Comedy Mothership.
Rogan owns
all
this
of it.
whole thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And dude, when I tell you that we're sitting in the bar and the show started at 7, right? And we had dinner at 8. So we had to leave about 7:35, 7:40 to get to dinner. That first 30 minutes, the bar is completely separate. Like there's a whole wall and a hallway, and you can't even see any of the show or anything. The amount of laughter.
Yeah.
That was it started to make people at the bar laugh, but we couldn't hear the jokes. But because everybody in there was laughing so much,
Made everybody feel good.
the laughter just kind of got into the bar, and then all of a sudden you could feel the bar start to change a little bit, and it was like we can't even hear the jokes, but the laughter that is coming into the bar, just the reverberation of it, created a completely different atmosphere. It was unbelievable.
When you eventually saw, because you ended up seeing a show, right?
No, I haven't gone to a show yet.
Oh, you still haven't gone. You just went to the bar. Okay.
Yeah, and we had dinner plans and I had to go out. I thought we were going to be able to make it back in time for the 10 p.m. show.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy, I was like, hey, do I need to buy tickets now?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I can make it back. And he was like, dude, there's always 1 or 2 tickets because people just don't show up.
Yeah. You got guys out there like Rogan, like Bill Burr. What's the Australian guy's name? Jim Jeffries. Dude, we went and saw Jim Jeffries. His opener was funnier than him. I swear to God. Yeah, I don't know. It was an Australian. I don't know. Australian kid. Don't remember his name. That kid had me. He was younger. Tears, man. Tears.
That's awesome.
Tears. It was great. I love comedy shows.
Awesome.
Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr is one of the greatest to ever do it. And then Maniscalco. But the thing is, these guys, in order to be a good comedian, you have to be filterless.
Yeah, you
have to. You have to. You cannot tiptoe around topics and try and be politically correct and appease all the woke and all that stuff.
No,
you're not
even
funny.
Think about it.
No,
it just
funny.
has to be funny.
No.
That's the thing. It just has to be funny.
Yeah,
That's it. That's what comedy is.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter if it's funny. As long as it's funny, it works.
Feelings aside, especially with comedy, but it's just funny how much it's changed.
You have to be able to laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't laugh at anything.
I think we're going to come back. This is going to. There's no way. There's so many more people that think like you and I. We're going to have to sort of fight back in a way to where we're like, okay, guys, you're taking it too far.
I got to tell you, that's why I wanted to do this.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Because in my regular life, I have to watch what I say sometimes because I have giant corporate clients.
Yeah.
Giant.
Yeah.
And so I can't go out there and be the face of my company and say stuff on my company page that could be considered whatever.
That's
I hate it.
I
absolutely
don't like it either. Because you feel like you're restricted. You feel like you're restricted.
I can't be myself.
So here we can be ourselves.
I can be myself.
This is a safe space.
It's a safe space,
safe
bro.
space.
This is a comedy show.
We'll try and entertain you guys.
Hey, I don't care. As long as it's funny to me, it's comedy.
I agree.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm sure there's 300 million people in this world. There's about 300 that'll watch this podcast. And out of those 3 of them are going to think this is funny.
No. That's not true, Mike. This podcast is going to continue to grow. We're going to keep it going. We're going to get good guests on. We're going to make it.
Me and you are just going to get better and better at it.
For sure.
So one of the things that I did want to talk about a little bit was our podcast, and we're going to finish. I think we can finish up with this, because I want to go over kind of what our thought process is with this podcast. I know what it is for me. For me, I want it to be a learning experience for myself. I want it to be about what it's like to be in business for yourself, what it's like to be in business with someone else and have a partner, because I've done that too, and I just recently bought my partners out. Thank you, Jesus. I love my brother and my dad, but I am telling you right now, it is hard having family in business, buddy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. You do know about this very well.
Yeah.
House of Pies, baby. House of Pies, shout out. But yeah, I want to be able to learn. I want to be able to talk about things without having to worry about what I say or how someone takes it or whatever. I want to interview people that I think are funny. I want to interview people that I think are interesting, especially just around our Houston, Texas area, right? I think that being in a city this large.
I mean, we're about to be the 3rd largest city in the U.S. Right?
Yeah, if we're not already. I mean, people are leaving Chicago in droves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll probably overtake Chicago.
Yeah,
soon.
I bet you if you counted today, we're already there.
Yeah.
But the podcast for me is just a way that I can speak my mind, but also allow other people to speak theirs.
Yes.
And just listen and learn and try to come up with cool things that we can talk about and have fun with. And
I think we could actually, in our own way too, Mike, we could end up, answering some questions that people want to know about. We can bring experts on and, basically go down these rabbit holes together with our audience.
Yeah, I love it.
And to be honest, I think that's what makes Rogan great, and that's what makes PBD great. They go down these rabbit holes. They talk about topics that are interesting to people, that people want to know about, that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about it.
Me too, Mike. Me too.
I'm ready to start this new chapter of not only like my business but my life. Like you said, you just recently turned 40. We had a freaking awesome time at your birthday party, bro. That was the craziest thing.
More people. I don't know.
He texted me and he was like, "Yeah, I think 20 or 30 people are going to show up." We show up to his brother's house, and your brother's house is unbelievable, bro. Yeah. But so luckily his brother has a very large house because about 200 people showed up to this birthday party.
It was a little more anticipated. Luckily, my parents lived next door, so we were able to go get cups and ice and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, your dad came over. Oh, what a great night that was, though, dude. Yeah, so I'm almost 40. January, I'll be 40.
We got to have a big 40th bash for
dude,
you.
We're gonna
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm ready too. I'm not ready to be 40, but I am ready.
No, it's good, Mike.
No,
it's a good chapter. It's a good chapter. It's necessary.
I think it is too. I was able to buy my the business that I've worked at for the last 20 years of my life. And now it's mine.
That's awesome.
It's mine. No one else's. It's just mine.
And we might all add that Lindsey's Office Furniture is blowing up. So
yeah, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate it. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of good people like Scott. Man, this guy right here is a big reason why we've been able to do what we've done over the last few years, and really appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. Big congratulations to both of you, and nothing but continued success for sure.
Yeah, man, you too. Yeah. And so you've got a new restaurant that you've just invested in. Just opened up.
Yeah, on West Gray called Albi. It's been really fun. We have to go check it out. Yeah.
I'm ready.
We had the soft opening, and it's been fun.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
It's just something to do for fun.
Dude, I'm so excited about everything. I'm happy that we reconnected after so many years.
Me too.
And I'm happy that we're doing this.
Me too, bro.
Life is good, baby. It's very tough being the head of something.
Yeah.
Of anything.
Yeah.
And but man, the amount of just respect that I've gotten for myself from being able to see kind of my progression in the business. Dude, when I first started at this thing, I was terrible at everything I did. Everything I did. I couldn't sell very well. I was a horrible manager. I was a horrible buyer. And in my business, you better be a good buyer because that's when you make your money is when you buy it, not when you sell it. And just over the last 20 years, just doing the grind every single day, dude. And we've actually built something here that I think is I hope that it's gonna outlive me.
Yeah.
And
I think it will.
And I think we're well on our way to doing that. And I think this podcast is something.
It's a good outlet for us.
It's a great outlet for us.
Because we're both established. We're both kind of we both. I think we're at the sort of the same stage in life. We did what we needed to do. We've built our businesses, and now it's just kind of like enjoying the fruits of our labor, and then also being able to get this message across. And
I'd love to talk in more detail about our paths because they couldn't have been more opposite, right?
But they have a lot of similarities too. Yeah,
they do, in the fact that they kind of went like this.
Yeah, came back. Yeah, I agree.
They kind of came back, and they both took an insurmountable amount of work to get there. Yeah. It's funny because I envy you because you have this college degree and you have this,
can have
clout. You know what I'm saying? and I'm just a retard that was able to build a furniture company. But man, I envy the degree. And I don't know why I envy it, but I do. Like very badly. So much so to where I actually had a conversation with my wife about this. It's like, if I can retire in the next 10 to 15 years, I might go back to college. To get
for fun,
just to do it.
Yeah, why
just
not?
to say I did it. Yeah. I might only get an associate's degree because I didn't go to one day of college. One.
Well, Mike, I tell you, you didn't need it, buddy. You didn't need it. Look what you did. Look what you've accomplished. I mean, you didn't need it.
Yeah, I didn't need it. It would have made my life a little easier, though.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
you know that.
That's true.
For sure.
Well, brother, as always.
My pleasure, man.
Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Man, check out the Filterless podcast coming up. We really appreciate y'all. And thank y'all for going on this journey with us. We're going to try to get this a little bit more clear and concise and a little bit, but we're just learning. We're going to do this and we're going to keep doing it and we're going to keep doing it because I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
I'm having fun doing it. So appreciate everybody listening and watching, and we'll be back probably in a couple of days with another podcast. So we'll see you soon, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.